Welcome to Salvatore Pottery's channel, where we show you how we create pottery from our production studio and gallery located in Weaverville, North Carolina. I had a question from someone asking me how do we wax the bottom of our pots and wanted to see a video on that. And even though this seems very simplistic to me, for somebody that's never done it, you know, seeing it visually is the best way to go. So I used to have a much smaller hot plate than this, just, you know, like a skillet, and I would melt the wax in that. And the problem I had with that was some of my pots were too big, and even this large one, which is about 20 inches wide, can be too small. So this does, though, do the majority of our pots. So to begin with, we're glazing almost every day, so I buy boxes of this wax, and the company who we've been buying it from, this was the last that they were going to sell, so I don't really have a source for it. But you can also buy little boxes like at your grocery store that's called golf wax, and that should be fine. And something important to know is that wax can be toxic, and so when deciding to do this, you've got to check into, you know, what you need to be cautious with. So I fill up this with some wax, and just enough that it will cover the bottom of the pot right where I want it, but no further. So if I go all the way down in and hit the bottom of this metal pan, then I've got the depth that I want, and I always put an undercut on all my pots, so that is a good guideline. So let me show you how I do it. Here is one of our covered butter dishes, which is a good example of how I wax. And so you don't want to go straight down in, you want to go in an angle and do each of the sides. If you go down in, air gets caught up underneath your piece, and then it'll blurb up, and the wax will have like this curve of wax, and that's not what you want. So I go in on each side with this piece specifically. I roll it down to each of the corners, and then I call that good. And so that is how I do that. Thanks for watching. If you are enjoying our video, please consider supporting Salvatore Pottery by purchasing a pot. You may do so through our website, salvatorepottery.com, or better yet, visit us at our studio in Weaverville, North Carolina, just 10 minutes north of Asheville. Any purchase helps us to continue our educational videos and work in the studio. And remember to like and subscribe. Here is the bottom. It really does help other folks. And a lot of times I get wax on my fingers, but I go in at an angle, then all the way down, and then out. And sometimes I'll even, you know, scrape the excess off. So if you don't get your wax hot enough, it will start making little bubbles, and that's just a hard thing to work with because the glaze will want to stick in all these tiny bubbles. So you want your wax to be hot enough so you get a nice smooth cover like this one has. If it gets like this, let your wax sit on there and heat up a little longer, and then you can always go ahead and dip it back in to get better coverage. So let me see. So a bowl, here's a bowl, and just down on the side, in and out. And you can see how that is exactly where I want it with beautiful coverage. So that is what I do with it. This pan I bought at Sam's. It is a commercial pan, and I went with this type of system again because I glaze big pots. And then this was a hot plate that I found at Walmart, my husband replaced it. He got it on Amazon. This one I'm not delighted with because it seems to swoop down a little bit. The hot plate does, and so the pan doesn't get hot evenly, which can be an issue. So you might want to look into that. There are different temperature waxes. We have always bought this low temperature melting wax, And lately, I guess with COVID, it hasn't been available, so we had to go to a higher melting point wax, and it just takes longer to melt, and we just kind of struggle with it. Like, it takes us like a half an hour to get this melted at 400 degrees. So that is something to consider. I think that is about it. If you have any questions, let me know, and we will catch you next time. It is January 2023. During the busy season, I don't get to do as many videos as I would like to do, but now that we're in January, it's it's our slow season, so I can start putting some videos up and answering folks' questions. The next video I'm going to do is how to put handles on my bacon cookers. I had a request for that, and I threw bacon cookers yesterday, so I plan on doing a video on that one today or tomorrow, and it'll be more detailed than what I usually do, just because it was a specific question from William. So I appreciate you always watching my videos, William, and all the encouragement. It's really nice to hear. So anyway, I will catch you next time, and until then, I hope you're happily potting. Thanks. This is Sue with Salvatierra Pottery.